Hello, I'm Essay, your AI essayist. Please note that all content, audio and video in this presentation are AI generated. As AI can sometimes produce inaccuracies, I encourage you to verify any factual information presented. With that in mind, let's begin.
The 1993 Nobel Prize, jointly awarded to Paul Lauterbur and Sir Peter Mansfield, recognized their seminal contributions to the development of magnetic resonance imaging, or MRI. This essay offers a meticulous, section-by-section examination of their foundational work, aiming to critically evaluate the central claims, arguments, and specific techniques presented within the context of their published writings. It will delve into the underlying mechanisms, conceptual frameworks, and the evidence provided, always focusing on the internal coherence and validity of their assertions. The intent is to illuminate the profound implications of their work, not merely for medical diagnostics, but for our understanding of scientific innovation and its impact on human experience. Section 1: Introduction to Gradient Fields and Spatial Encoding. The cornerstone of Lauterbur's and Mansfield's breakthroughs resided in their ingenious employment of magnetic field gradients to facilitate spatial encoding within the resonant signal. The introduction, pivotal to understanding the entire process, showcases the conceptual leap from simply detecting nuclear magnetic resonance to harnessing it for image creation. The fundamental premise, articulated at the outset, relied on the observation that the Lama frequency, the frequency at which atomic nuclei process in a magnetic field, is linearly proportional to the strength of the magnetic field itself. This relationship forms the basis for spatial discrimination. Dissimilar positions within the object, due to the varying field strengths provided by the gradient, exhibit dissimilar resonant frequencies. The initial claims posit that manipulating the external magnetic field permits the construction of spatially resolved images. Lauterbur's vision, articulated in his seminal papers, established this principle. He outlined the strategies for achieving this, including techniques for applying gradients in different directions or dimensions. At this stage, the arguments are primarily conceptual. The core concept is presented. The introduction does not offer complete experimental validation at this point, but sets up these crucial foundational arguments. The evidence offered at this stage draws upon the well-established knowledge of nuclear magnetic resonance, which has already been demonstrated. Section 2: The encoding of the resonant signal. A key section explains how the signal, now modulated by the applied gradients, can be encoded. The method for encoding the resonant signal, as it appears within the work, centers on the Fourier transform. The work lays out the basic idea that the gradient-encoded signal, a complex superposition of frequencies, can be broken down and interpreted. Essentially, the spatial information can be derived from the frequency domain. The argument then proceeds to explain how the application of gradients allows for the modulation of the resonant signal. The mechanisms for generating the gradient fields, while not fully described here, are indirectly hinted at, referring to the use of electromagnetic coils. The mathematical description of the Fourier transform, the fundamental tool for converting the signal from the frequency domain to the spatial domain, introduced, including the critical role it plays in reconstructing the image. The claim is that the Fourier transform can reconstruct the spatial information from the acquired signal, provided that the gradient is applied systematically. This is a complex assertion that requires careful analysis. The evidence supporting the argument here is almost entirely theoretical. The validity relies on the well-established properties of the Fourier transform and its ability to transform between domains accurately. As a result, the section is a mathematical expression of the essential principle. Section 3: The development of imaging techniques. The subsequent section details the specific techniques Lauterbur and Mansfield developed to transform the raw signal into a visual representation. The work delves into the precise implementation of these concepts, describing the signal acquisition process and the image reconstruction. Several strategies are presented for collecting and processing the signals, each involving a slightly dissimilar approach to encoding and decoding the spatial information. The key claim here is that manipulating the gradient fields, acquiring the signals, and applying the Fourier transform to create an image is achievable. These discussions involve describing the nature of gradient application, the specific pulse sequences used to excite the nuclei, and the methods for acquiring the data. The evidence for these claims is slowly becoming clear. The primary support is the experimental verification. The authors also demonstrate how the system can be applied to real-world objects, showing that the technique works. Section 4. The significance of spatial resolution. The section discussing spatial resolution focuses on the capability of the imaging method to separate two spatially nearby points in the image. The core argument focuses on the importance of resolution in determining the quality of the image and its utility in a medical setting. The higher the resolution, the more detail is revealed. The development of spatial resolution has critical implications for the visualization of anatomical structures. The argument is supported by simple examples, such as distinguishing between two different structures. Within this section, the analysis includes a discussion of the factors limiting spatial resolution, touching on the effects of the homogeneity of the magnetic field, the accuracy of applied gradients, and the signal-to-noise ratio. The authors address issues of signal clarity and the need for advanced techniques which improve image quality. Section 5. Experimental verification and image reconstruction. A vital part of the work is the experimental evidence supporting the claims. These arguments are bolstered with data. The images presented are an essential part of the presentation. A section elucidates the specific experimental setups utilized, which involved the use of appropriately designed magnet systems, radio frequency coils, and data acquisition equipment. The authors detail the method of signal processing. The key claim is that the proposed method is demonstrable in practice. The image reconstructions are the primary evidence. The images exhibit the spatial distribution of protons in a simple object. This provides compelling proof of the method's feasibility. The discussion also includes an analysis of signal-to-noise ratios and techniques for image enhancement. Section 6. Image, artifacts and limitations. The authors acknowledge the limitations of the original methods. This section delves into specific challenges encountered in the initial experiments, including sources of image artifacts. The sources discussed cover issues that influence signal interpretation, such as magnetic field inhomogeneities. It reveals their efforts in correcting these issues. The central claim is that the imaging method, while powerful, is susceptible to artifacts. The arguments are supported by the observations of the artifacts. This section acts to underscore the crucial role of quality in medical imaging. The discussion introduces the need for better techniques for field correction and signal processing. It emphasizes the need to improve signal resolution. Section 7. The development of echo-planar imaging API by Sir Peter Mansfield. This section directly addresses the work of Sir Peter Mansfield, particularly focusing on his development of echo-planar imaging, or EPI. The core of Mansfield's contribution was the rapid acquisition of image data. The traditional techniques, as previously discussed, require a relatively long time to get detailed images. Mansfield's innovation, which involved the generation of a series of echoes within a single application of a gradient field, was a significant step forward. The key claim presented here is that EPI dramatically increases the speed of imaging. The argument relies on the concept of generating a series of echoes and the application of oscillating gradients. Mansfield's work shows the entire image can be obtained in a remarkably short time. This section provides a detailed explanation of the EPI pulse sequence. The evidence here emphasizes the speed gains. It explains the specific design of the gradient waveform, along with the rapid data acquisition methods. In a way, this section can be described as an argument in favor of rapid data acquisition. The discussion also covers the limitations, or trade-offs, Inherent to EP, Section 8, the implications for medical diagnosis. The final section, or the concluding part, discusses the significance for medical diagnostics. This section explores the impact of MRI on the field of medicine. The authors explain MRI's capacity to provide non-invasive, detailed anatomical visualizations of the body, the impact of this technology on these areas. This emphasize the central claim revolves around the diagnostic utility of MRI. The argument highlights the value of MRI in diagnosing dissimilar maladies. The arguments are supported by the demonstrated capacity to visualize soft tissue, where methods such as X-rays are significantly less effective. The section emphasizes the potential of MRI to transform the manner in which medicine is practiced. Section 9. The legacy and evolution of MRI. This section is a concluding overview. It summarizes the key contributions and evaluates them. The discussion covers the early work and the advancements, and the evolution of the technology. The authors examine the theoretical foundations and the engineering challenges overcome. The most significant claim is to summarize the impact and the enduring significance of the work. The validity is demonstrated by the extensive, continuous use of MRI. This section is a celebration of their achievement. The arguments highlight the importance of fundamental research, how it has influenced the practice of Section 10. Critique and critical evaluation. The work presented the world with a new method to generate images. The fundamental framework presented, for the most part, remains. The authors' claims and their methodological approach were successful in establishing an entirely new field of science. The most remarkable thing about their claims is that they were, at the time, essentially hypothetical. They were an exploration of new potential possibilities. This intellectual leap demanded a new mode of thought. The claims were supported and ultimately validated by experimental evidence. It is also pertinent to add that both Lauterbur and Mansfield understood the limitations of their initial methods. They recognized that the image quality could be further refined. They knew the speed of the data acquisition could be increased. They set the stage for the development of increasingly sophisticated MRI technologies. The methodologies employed, while innovative, were constrained by the technological capabilities of the time. The author's capacity to produce detailed images was limited. They understood that the application of the Fourier transform and the encoding of the signals could be further refined. Moreover, the work also presented a clear view of the challenges. These challenges included image, artifacts, and considerations of signal-to-noise ratio. In conclusion, the work of Lauterbur and Mansfield lays down the blueprint for modern MRI. Their claims, supported by rigorous experimental validation, transformed medical imaging. Their contribution is a testament to the power of interdisciplinary collaboration, intellectual curiosity, and the pursuit of innovation. The enduring significance of their work lies in its ability to provide the diagnostic capabilities for both medical care and the understanding of human bodies. Their achievement demonstrates how fundamental research can reshape the world and improve the lives of people. Their profound contribution continues to resonate today, influencing scientific and technological advancements.
We really appreciate you tuning into this AI-powered presentation. Our goal is to push the boundaries of AI in content creation, and your input is invaluable. If there's a particular subject you'd like to see us tackle next, or if you have suggestions on how we could fine-tune our AI's creative prompts, please don't hesitate to leave your ideas in the comments section. We're excited to bring you more unique content very soon.